What's going on, everyone? So, ever since De'Aaron Fox signed that max extension, the 4 years, $229 million, been a lot of questions, right? A lot of people saying that he's been overpaid and the Spurs, that this could end up biting them in the behind. And I have my concerns as well, right? I do have my questions if that was the right move or not. We will see. Time will tell. I talked about how there may need to be some consolidation trades at some point. They might have to look to get off of some guys. Do have my concerns about kind of stunting guys like Dylan Harper and Stephon Castle. Like, how much opportunity are they going to get with De'Aaron Fox on the court and the ball in his hands, a good majority of the game and whatnot? There are questions, right? Like, whether they turn out to be like real concerns, like genuine concrete concerns, or they were just like, those are silly questions. We will see. Time will tell, right? But regardless, it's time for De'Aaron Fox to prove it, right? The best season he's ever had since being in the league was losing in the first round to the Golden State Warriors, right? Now, obviously, look, he's one player, right? Takes a team, takes a roster, right? But I've seen people like, he led our team to the 3 seed. That's nice. But are the Spurs playing for seeding, or are they playing to win championships at some point? Right? Isn't the plan to win championships with De'Aaron Fox? Especially at 27 years old. He'll be 28, 2 months into the season. Right? Now, obviously this year, I don't think anyone expects the Spurs to win a championship this season. But within the next, couple years, the idea is that De'Aaron Fox is going to be a big piece and a big factor to you winning an NBA championship. Right? Are the Spurs playing for playoff seeding? I don't care if you're the 3 seed and you'll lose in the first round, right? Like, doesn't matter. You lost in the first round. You didn't win a championship. You didn't get it done. Didn't work, right? So, to me, De'Aaron Fox, right, beyond that, has just been nothing but play-ins and playoff, or missing the playoffs entirely. A lot of questions about him contributing to winning. And that's the problem, right? He gets traded to the Spurs. Spurs give up literally nothing. And the Spurs were worse with De'Aaron Fox than they were without him. Now, again, context matters. Context is important, right? It is very hard to integrate a star to a new team because they're used to playing a certain role, having a certain type of usage, all that. And then you add into the fact that he's the point guard, right? Like, there's going to be some hiccups. Oh, and by the way, the Spurs promised Chris Paul that he had to start. So then you had this like awkward starting lineup that just didn't make sense. And I get that you made a promise to Chris Paul, but like stuff happens, right? Like Chris Paul's old enough. He's a big boy. He can get it and understand. Hey, if you want to be traded, no hard feelings. We'll trade you. But this is the situation now. But nonetheless, they got through the season. Didn't happen. Right? De'Aaron Fox, I've seen people argue like, oh, he had the finger injury. Yeah, he had the finger injury all season. It's not like it happened there, and he was still doing fine all season with Sacramento, right? You don't get worse at it in an all-star unless there's a reason, right? Now, I think if you're going to make an argument as to why, it's because, like, the better argument would be like, because you're integrating an all-star level point guard to a young team, and he didn't have the experience, and then all of a sudden Victor Wembanyama goes down, and it's just, right? Like, that's a better argument to like, oh, he was hurt. Like, yeah, he was hurt in Sacramento, and he was still fine in Sacramento last year. He still averaged 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists on 46.5% shooting, right? Like, so again, it's not really a good argument. That's like, oh yeah, he was still putting up near all-star level numbers, but his injuries is what dampened him. Like, no, he had that. Remember, he suffered that during training camp. But I digress. Point is, right? De'Aaron Fox, he has a really good opportunity here, right? Like, I see a lot of people that are like, yeah, but like, who was his other guy? Like, let's not pretend like Sabonis is some bum. I understand, like, fans, we try to overhype things and whatnot. I'm not saying Sabonis is Victor Wembanyama. Victor Wembanyama is ridiculous, right? But Sabonis is what, a top 5, top 7 center in all of basketball, right? Like, the guy is a very good player. And Sacramento's had good players. They've had good runs. Again, you can't go and argue and say like, oh, well, they were the 3 seed in the Western Conference, but he played with a bunch of bums. Okay, so what is it? Right? Like, either they're good enough to be the 3 seed in the Western Conference, or it's a team full of bums. Right? Like, you can't have it both ways, right? So, to me, he had good teams. He had good rosters. He had opportunities. He just didn't deliver, right? Like, But that doesn't mean that he can't. That doesn't mean he can't figure it out. You know, he's one of the best fourth quarter players, one of the best clutch players in all of basketball, but that also could be a hindrance. Because if you watch Sacramento games, particularly with him, and as somebody that has, multiple channels and talks all teams and all that stuff, like I watch a lot of basketball, right? All teams, right? And I watch a lot of Sacramento basketball, especially, being, they're on cable television all the time. They have like a Sacramento network and stuff like that. So you can watch a lot of Sacramento games, right? So I watch Sacramento games all the time because they're usually playing all these other teams that I want to see and stuff too. So, and I'm not in Sacramento. I'm just saying, like, there's a channel, like the Sacramento channel. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but usually I have it like pre-saved. But point is, right? Like, watched a lot of Sacramento games over the years because they have like their own channel, just like the Golden State Warriors and whatnot. And they're usually like included, no matter where you are, they're usually included. Like I have YouTube TV and like all the little packages and stuff. But point is that, you look at and watch him play. A lot of times teams were okay and comfortable just kind of letting him cook, right? Like, hey, let him do his thing, right? And because he's not getting anyone else involved, right? Being the point guard, there has to be a balance. Right? There's times where, hey, your best option is just give your best player the ball and get out the way, right? But you look at guys like SGA and these guys, right? Like, yeah, they can go close the game. They can hit big shots. We've seen games where SGA goes and rattles off like 12 straight points in the fourth quarter or whatever. We've also seen games where he, will go and give 6 straight points and then dish out 3 or 4 assists. Right? Like, again, it's finding that balance. He's going to have guys like De'Aaron Fox, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, Harrison Barnes, like all these guys that he's got to be able to trust and rely on, right? Like different coaching, all of that. Right? Wemby's your guy, right? Wemby's supposed to be your best player. You need to make sure you're getting him the basketball. Like he had this certain level of luxury. He had this certain capability of being a high usage, high volume guy and get, and have the ball in his hands and do whatever he pleases, right? He was the franchise guy of Sacramento. Not going to be that with the Spurs. Right? Victor Wembanyama's the face. Now, De'Aaron Fox is one of the guys, without a doubt, right? Him and De'Aaron Fox are the 2 best players on this team. Or, well, him and Victor Wembanyama. De'Aaron Fox is who I'm referencing, right? They're the best players on this team, right? But he's got to find that balance. He's got to be able to make that work. Right? There's talent on this team. I don't think there's enough talent to win a championship or anything like that right now. I think guys still need to develop and grow. But Victor Wembanyama is going to be very good this season. And they have several guys that are going to be very good this season. And De'Aaron Fox, like you bare minimum need to be a playoff team. You should be. De'Aaron Fox with Domantas Sabonis, I keep hearing, man, De'Aaron Fox with Domantas Sabonis led the Sacramento Kings to 3 seed. Okay, well then, good, perfect. Right, you know who else was on that team? Harrison Barnes, who happens to be on the Spurs now. Right? Well, I think everyone here watching this video all agrees Victor Wembanyama is better than Domantas Sabonis, right? So, I'm not saying that they have to be the 3 seed, but they should at least be a playoff team. But it's time for De'Aaron Fox to pony up, right? He got paid, he got his bag, he got his money. Good. Okay, I'm all for it. Time to deliver. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. Make sure to like the video. And then that being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.